Venom Part BA. It is one of the most anticipated films in this year, with Dotpu and Golan and Raven the Hunter. Its official name is Venom the Lastin. Let's analyze in the trailer of Fandom BA. What's interesting? The beginning of the challenge. It's the scene where Aerie went back to his universe after the second part, and Aerie connected to the Venom of the arts at other. This helped to let him know Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because in other arts, like the first Spider-Man movie, then Venom went head-to-head with Spider-Man. In the Spider-Man No Way Home section, Doctor Strange used a spell, accidentally put the villains to know Pytomaker from other universes back to Space 6 of the MCU. It's different from the other villains. The Alliance is leaving Choba, their hated Spider-Man, a holy battle. This Eddie picked up Sanhis at a bar, because the salary is not very high. He with Fandom is symbiotic, not really the Spider-Man villain. Then Doctor Strange fixed the spell, take people back to their old world. Eddie continued to be a passenger. On the train, the multiverse of the MCU returns to its reality. So now Edie's back in Mexico. The reality of home. The graffiti on the wall. It means don't miss, but a plea from Sony. Don't miss this last part of the fandom. Soon after, Eddie met, and there was a conflict with the gang. What's interesting is Eddie and Fandom now was no longer synchronized as it used to be. They said they didn't fit together like they used to, and Eddie herself said that, you'll need to solve the problem, fit together like the old days, otherwise it would be quite. This could be due to the previous part. They were angry at each other. They're not connected much anymore. Or maybe it's because the Venom itself became excited. It's been a long time since I touched my face like this, and Eddie is quite calm and dangerous. Even in the way two people engage in combat, it's also being reversed. Venom used Eddie as a weapon. A strangeness and would be pretty good for Eddie. The Venom clings to its feet to increase its attack force. It's no different than Eddie using a needle, armed to fight. That's how I feel. The war is over. By chewing his head one by one, literally speaking, always awkward. You can eat and talk in the mic. I still have the same mouth as before. And then there's a view of an area of the military. They appear a lot in the trailer. Show the army will play a huge role in this film, when they're showing signs of meddling with Trump Biden. If you see this commander familiar, in case many of you don't realize, this is the face of the model. One of Kamada's magicians. I was in love with the wrong side of the coin and chose to leave. In Space 8BA8, Moro becomes a member of the Illuminati Council instead of Doctor Strange, who sacrificed after defeating Thanos on Titan. I'm not sure either. Here, is it a completely different version of the model, in a new universe, or not? Or an actor will play two completely different characters. If it's a variant of the model, it would be easier to understand, like Dr. Stend. Not yet the ultimate shaman, he's still a talented doctor. The model will also be possible. The events with him don't happen in this universe, so the model is still devoted to the military. This character in the Noki Home Addict section, it's a bartender. This trailer is in the universe of Fandom. He's still wearing the same clothes, but had a different hairstyle. It's a variant in another universe. That sounds more reasonable. In the movie No Way Home, last paragraph is ended by a small piece of Venom's cell. Stay at the bar. That's an indication that Venom had enough persuasion to appear in the MCU. If you look at this trailer, it's not quite so. I think when Eddie is returned to the original reality, then it fell out. So this cell is still not present in the MCU. The military commander appeared and summarized the living cell that Venom brought back. In this scene we'll see there are many simple creatures. Others were seized. Their goal is to study the enemy, or want to take advantage, to create a new living weapon. It's still unclear. These monsters, it may have been born out of your accident. Other specimens are being kept, or they've gone down to Earth looking for it. Venom was caught by the army in the middle of the road, and directly implement prevention projects. If they'd gone to the bar to capture dangerous specimens, surely they also knew about it. Eddie has symbiosis with Fandom, so there will be scenes where Eddie is pursued by the military. The movie moved to Las Vegas, where Eddie met B.A. Trin, who used to sell at the local counter in the first two movies. Or, it's a close-up mini-detective in a special theater room, and it's in an uncontrollable state. In the second year, he was infected with CPO. On a ride that Eddie hitchhiked. On the run, the character is holding the harp. It's also quite familiar. This is Dr. Lizards in Die Amazing Spider-Man. Nugui Home Spider-Watch. He was cured of the disease and was transported back to his own universe. Maybe Spider-Man Andrew is in the same universe as Venom. The view of asteroids burning up in the atmosphere. It's like the simple way. Go to Earth in Spider-Man VA. When a meteorite crashed into Central Park. Next Velen is about to. He encounters a monster from his planet. It's even worse and more horrible. Along with a warning from the military commander that there's an invasion army in outer space. The unbeatable are heading for Earth. In this scene, series of simmer monsters from home of Vietnam appeared on Earth, revealing a terrifying, dark vision. More likely, Eddie will have to be with Inspector Minigan against these monsters. In Venom's channel, we'll know that Venom will start immediately after Puts of No Way Home, because Ari's clothes are the same day. Creatures captured in the lab looks like they've been tasked with finding Vietnam and was arrested first. When they do something bad to the Earth by the military, they need to take action to track down the creatures. Vietnam was also accidentally noticed. Here, they seem to be completely new symbionts. It's different from creatures. She was captured by 9 Fashion in the first season, and all have been destroyed except Venom. The giant monster, confronted with Venom. It may be the version of rendering in comic. It's a giant symbiotic dragon. It was created billions of years ago by the Cinder God. However, it could also be a new alien species. In the comic called a Hinope, an enemy of Simio, have a preference for eating the host's brain. At the end of the challenge, Eddie convinced Venom to try connecting with a horse, and it confirmed that Venom was actually able to link up with these organisms. It's not human. It seems that in Venumba there will be great sacrifices, when the movie's tagline is Telefonist Todepas, so it wouldn't be a surprise if Eddie or Venom, you will have to sacrifice yourself to save the world. Or what's worse is, the reality of Vietnam will disappear, and somehow, Vietnam will enter the MCU space. Blame all the blame on Peter Parker, and we're going to have Spider-Man Season 4, confronted with Vietnam. The first challenge of Venom. This BA is mainly filled with kinds of actions, and the jokes of Eddie and Venom. There is no more information about the story. In the movie, there will be 2 points in the trailer that need attention. It's a secret government organization, determined to track down and keep Venom a secret, as well as other evidence of extraterrestrial life. And the second thing is, there seems to be some unknown force from Venom's hometown. They're searching for Venom. There may be no god of simple. The song appears in the Vernba trailer. It's called Spay or DT. It's related to the moon landing of Apollo 11. It used to be the theme for the PPC program. When reporting on this event, this song tells the story of Tom, who got lost in space and lost contact of the Earth. He had to say goodbye before he died. It's like a goodbye for Eddie and Vietnam. When the third part of Vietnam, it will also be the end of the story. From part 1, from the Vietnamese chain only against a few individuals, until the end, would have to prevent a large-scale invasion. According to some leaked sources, Ari didn't just have to run away from the army, but try to stop them. I found another Peter Parker. Although this has never been seen, they challenge. This is the truth, yes. Meaning, this movie is also having connections to back Madam Web. Then Easy Tail will also know that he's carrying his future enemy. And in Vietnam, that kid grew up. Sony's CEO has revealed this is going to be the end of Tom Hardy in Vietnam, to close the movie of Vietnam. So it's going to be the greatest movie ever. In all 3 movies, the film is set to hit theaters on October 25th. And that's all my sharing about the Venom trailer. Part 3. Are you waiting for this movie? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. And now, hello. See you in the next videos.